Focus on is themselves. Obviously, they have the trip coming up where they're going to be playing in a tournament. They'll be leaving on Wednesday for that, but Coach Campbell has been positive about it's about them during these games, preparing for the Big 12 Conference. Now, Idaho State's going to start out in a man-to-man defense. Sedona Prince way out front. She is going to be tough to stop for Idaho State. Bigby from the outside, can't get the three to go. She has been hot the last 4 games. 53% from 3 to be exact.
Yeah, Bigby's doing really good. I think it's because she's finding her shots, within the offense. It's nothing that's forced. And so, her feet are set, she's in rhythm, and that's when you knock down shots.
And there is the press that TCU is going to put a lot of pressure on. They've got more bodies than Idaho State. BYU, Idaho State had a great game against them, came up on the short end, but BYU tried to pressure them. Here's Haley Van Lith. No, she is going to go to the free throw line. There's a good look at Haley Van Lith earlier. Prior to the game, was honored with a game ball for her 2,000th career point.
That left hand right there, able to draw a foul on Hallie Wright. She's attacking, on the right-hand side, but she's going to bring it back to her shooting hand on the left because she knew that she had a player right there, getting herself to the free throw line. Just a really smart, high IQ play.
We were talking about, everybody talks about Haley Van Lith and her offense, but you got to go, and look at her defense too. We mentioned it briefly in the open. 6 steals last game. I mean, for the season. That's pretty good.
It really is. And she said she's worked hard defensively in the offseason because she thinks that she has an untapped level defensively that she's just never been pushed to show. It's all kind of been offense for her. And so now under Coach Campbell, the fit that she's, I talked about earlier, just really pushing her to really expand her game.
Well, it took Idaho State almost 9 seconds to get across the timeline. Then they throw it away. And what that does, Jada, as a player, you can explain it better. It kind of messes up your timing when it takes that long to get your offense in gear.
Yeah, for sure. You have 30 seconds to get a shot to hit the rim. And so if I take 9 seconds for you to even get up the court, you're already frazzled because of that. And then you still need to get into your offense and get through different sets, but the time is ticking. And so that just really kind of throws them off, and that's why a lot of teams press.
Good job of spreading the floor. Madison Connor on the drive. Bill Lawrence comes up with the foul call. He's joined by Nina Norman and Corey Malone as our officials for today's game. Foul's going to be on Casey Spink. She is a hard-nosed defender, Casey Spink. Watching tape of her, especially in that BYU game, she's tough. She's a tough cookie.
Yeah, I talked about in the open Hallie Wright on the offensive glass, but Spink is one as well.
Haley Van Lith with her 9th three-pointer of the season. Playing in her 139th college game, and that's just a oops foul by Madison Connor. She flashes a little smile after that.
She knew it was coming.
This is a sweet shot.
I think she's really settled in. She didn't shoot it the best, the first game in a TCU uniform, but the past couple of games, it's been knocking down for her.
You brought up a great point in the last broadcast we had. She is becoming more than just a shooter for TCU.
I think you'll see that in her offensive numbers. You see right here, she's looking up, looking for Sedona. A beautiful pass. That's a playmaker right there.
What a luxury to have a big like Sedona Prince who runs the floor so well. That is going to be a major problem for Idaho State. They kind of were exposed in that BYU game with their big, but nobody is like Sedona Prince.
And I think so they don't have a true center. And so that's really going to be tough to guard 6'7" when you don't have somebody traditionally down there to bang with her.
There is Hallie Wright, the junior from Prosser, Washington. Great pass. And Idaho State is on the board, trailing by 5. Haley Van Lith left open, can't get it. Rebound down to Casey Spink, averages 7.4 rebounds a game as a guard.
I told you, she crashes the board hard, and so TCU is going to have to box her out.
Member of the Big Sky all-defensive team. And that's going to be a turnover. We'll go the other way with it.
It was a turnover, just overthrew the pass, but that was the second backdoor cut that's been open for Idaho State, and it's because Sedona is lifted. And so there's going to have to be aware that they're looking for those backdoor cuts.
This time Sedona comes out and sets the pick and then sets another and rolls. Boy, look at her work. Little off her spot, but she's really battling Piper Carlson. Carlson let her go. Sedona Prince makes her pay.
Madison just attacking right there and making Idaho State commit.
The assist again from Madison Connor, having an outstanding season, averaging over 5 assists a game. TCU #1 in the NCAA in assist-to-turnover ratio. Sedona the outlet to Donovan Hunter, the sophomore out of Medford, Oregon, gives it up. Bigby can't get the roll. Idaho State will have it.
Idaho State got back in that transition in defense because they know TCU is running and gunning down the floor.
We talked about it. They want to get, TCU wants to get as many possessions as they possibly can. They force you into mistakes. The thing that Idaho State does so well defensively, they make you do things that you don't want to do. Diaz pull-up jumper, buries it.
And that's what Diaz does. She's a lefty, but she is looking to score whenever she gets the ball.
Making her first start of the season, had 12 starts last year, and the coaches were telling us before the game, she's a Vinnie Johnson kind of player. For those of you who don't remember Vinnie from the Detroit Pistons, the microwave. She gets going, she will continue to go. Diaz picked up the foul. That'll be her first personal foul.
See right there, Sedona just working in the paint and going up strong. They had to collapse and double team her, and that's where she was able to draw the foul on the little hook shot.
Sedona Prince, 79% from the free throw line this year. Already has a 30-point game this season. Talking to her before the game and about what she was telling us a couple of days ago, she said, you know, I still haven't done anything. I know this is my 6th year. I've got to really pour it on this year. And every game I got to go out like it's my last game.
You know, especially she battled injury last year. And so she had to sit out for, you know, extensive amount of games and could see how quickly things can shift.
Aurora Elders checked into the lineup, the 16th freshman from Paris, California. And by the way, that was Sedona Prince's 1,000th career point. They better get a ball for her.
Yeah, Haley got a 2,000 ball presented to her before the game.
That's a pretty move from Elder. They call her a smart player. She had over 1,000 points in high school, but she's one of those players the coaches were telling us is just so eager to learn. Madison Connor for 3.
And I think as a freshman, like you said, eager to learn, you have to be. You have to learn from your veterans and your coach and just really soak up all the knowledge for people who have more experience.
And Madison Connor 64 points away from 1,000 in her career. TCU leaves the jumper wide open, and again it is Diaz.
And once she gets hot, once she gets going, you know, able to knock down 2 in a row for Diaz.
Diaz already with 5 points in the game. She averages just over 8. Casey Spink will come back into the lineup. Also coming in, Tasia Jordan will also come in for the first time. But first, we're going to take a break. Madison Connor hitting the 3, her 42nd, her 21st of the season. TCU has the lead. Idaho State's hit their last 3, but they still trail by 5. A week ago, Sedona Prince had 31 points, 16 rebounds versus North Carolina State. National Player of the Week, and now she gets her 1,000th point, Jada.
You know, she's had a career, a troublesome career, dealt with injuries, but also came to TCU and found great success. You know, so excited for her last season of college basketball. I believe it's year 7 for her. And so, like we talked about earlier, really trying to make the most of it, trying to really stay healthy. She said that's her #1 goal is to stay on the court. But when she is on the court, you know, just really trying to make her presence felt.
Well, she started her career at Texas, sat out the only season there with a broken leg. Last year, of course, she had the finger problem, missed 11 games because of that.
And I think she hears us talking about her because it's an and-one opportunity. Madison Connor, again, making that backside defense commit, dropping it off to Sedona Prince for a traditional 3-point play.
Well, TCU now has hit 5 of their last 7. Prince stays with 8 points to go along the rebound. So tough to defend. You know, we're talking to head coach Sobolewski before the game. I said, do you front her? Do you back her? He goes, we're going to try both. We just don't know what's going to work.
Yeah, you got to see kind of what works and have, you know, switch it up so that she's not getting comfortable with being fronted or getting comfortable with just playing behind. And so if you're constantly switching that defense, whether you're bringing 2 or not, you know, just keep her on her toes.
Donovan Hunter checks back into the lineup. Una Jovanovic will also come into the lineup for TCU. And that's another thing we're talking to Coach Campbell about, you know, about the starting lineup. He went back to the original starting lineup from the first 4 games of the year, and he says that's kind of a luxury because I can mix and match lineups.
Yeah, he said they've got about 8 starters. You know, they have the 5 that started the game today, and then they have Agnes, Una, and Aaliyah, who are really, you know, instrumental for this team.
Sedona Prince was working so hard down low, but Haley Van Lith says, I got this. Van Lith and Prince, both with 8 points in the ball game.
They've been a dynamic duo this season. You know, if it's not one, it's the other. So like you're saying, just having so many options in the white uniform has definitely been a good thing for the Frogs.
Just like Coach Campbell told us, he said it's like these two have played together for years, and this is the first year they've been together. Agnes Eminopu missed the first couple of games of the season, comes down with a rebound. Every one of her field goal attempts and makes have been from beyond the arc this year. But she's more than that. Here's Haley again. Agnes can't get it. Rebound's going to be pulled away by Tasia Jordan, the senior out of Melrose Park, Illinois. Jordan is talented, probably the most athletic on this Idaho State team.
Yeah, she can really get downhill. She's very quick. And so that TCU press is going to really have to get the trap set on her quickly because she likes to split those.
Diaz reads the defense. That's a beautiful pass. She drew Sedona Prince off.
And she saw Sedona's hands were up. Of course, you know, in the paint, her hands are going to be up. So just a little drop-off, wrap-around pass was a great read.
Lead cut down to 8. Watch how hard Sedona's working. Now she's got a height advantage. They got to get it down to her. They show the double. Goes inside with the right hand. Agnes Eminopu tie up. Possession arrow will go to Idaho State.
And you talked about how all of Agnes's points have come from behind the 3, but she's much more than that. She is a beast on the offensive glass. She's going to give 110% effort every time she's on the court, especially on the glass, trying to get her team extra possessions like Coach Mark Campbell talked about.
Now Sophia Covella will check back into the lineup, the redshirt junior out of Roseville, California. Started every game last season. Another outstanding 3-point shooter. Over 50% of her shots are from beyond the arc. Nice pass inside. Easy 2 for Jordan.
You know, Idaho State is breaking the press and finding some wide open baskets under the goal.
You know, we talked about Coach Seaton being a tactician. I think we're seeing it now. His game plan is outstanding. Against BYU, they wanted patience on offense. I think they're showing it now. Agnes has it rejected. The Bengals come up with it. Elise Abey, who has been starting into the lineup, comes up with a loose ball. Maybe out of Laurel, Montana. Another turnover. That'll be number 5 for the Bengals. Leads to Hunter. Easy 2.
And that's been the Achilles heel for Idaho State. They only average about 14.4 per game, but they kind of string them together, you know, one after the other. And so, you know, TCU right now at the timeout, they had 7 of their points off of the 3 turnovers for Idaho State, and they just added on to that.
Well, they're up to 12 points off turnovers. 12 of the 21 points for TCU coming off miscues. AB. She's going to be fouled by Una Jovanovic. That'll be her first personal foul.
Let's take a look at it. Yeah, just pushing her. She got beat off that first bounce. Really good by AB to get herself to the free throw line.
She learned a lot last season. They had, at one point last year, Idaho State had only 8 players available, but that opened the door for a lot of players to get playing time. AB started 13 games for Coach last season. This year, she's just not shooting the ball as well as she did last year, but they're hoping she comes along.
And, you know, when you have those opportunities, that's what they are. Opportunities for you to get playing time, for you to learn and grow. And so that's what last season was for Idaho State as well as for TCU with all the injuries and things that they went through. Just people had elevated roles.
Piper Carlson comes back in, the sophomore out of Albertville, Minnesota. Go down low, no. Offensive rebound, they'll set it back up again to Jordan. Jordan lets it fly from 3. Nice box out, Madison Connor.
Here, Coach Campbell saying push, push. They want to get out in transition.
You give Madison Connor an inch, she's going to bury it.
Beautiful, just dribbled right into that.
Led the Big 12 last year, 3-pointers and 3-pointers made a game. Again, one of the top 3-point shooters in the country, the active 3-point a game leader in the NCAA. The 3-pointer up top, count it. Allie Wright had hit only 7 threes coming into this game, but she pulls Idaho State within 8. Final 3 seconds. Madison rattles it home at the buzzer.
Madison Connor giving it to her again to knock down those big-time shots because she doesn't have to defend every single thing, you know, make every play for every possession for TCU. And so I definitely can see the difference.
Oh, what a move. Sedona Prince inside, can't finish, draws the contact. Another big stat of that opening 10 minutes, the fact that TCU did not have a turnover. They're number 1 in the NCAA in assist-to-turnover ratio. And when you have 3 players in the top 30 assist-to-turnover, that's big.
That's really big. You know, to be able to take care of the ball is the name of the game. You can't give up possessions to the other team. And so right now, yeah, they're leading the D1 assist-to-turnover ratio, 23.8 assists per game to 2.29.
You know, Coach Campbell was talking about that. Is just you have a roster that you've got to get the right players to play this system. You know, you have to make sure that they're going to fit the process of what they're trying to do here at TCU, and they've got that, unselfish players.
Exactly.
Diaz having a nice first half so far for Idaho State. Shot clock at 8.
TCU in a 1-3-1, which we haven't seen very much of.
In the corner right, launches, can't get the 3, rebound. Eminopu will let it go out.
We mentioned before about switching defenses when guarding Sedona, but TCU has done a good job as well as switching their defensives up so teams don't know what's coming at them.
TCU had in that first quarter, 12 of their points came off turnovers from Idaho State. Connor can also drive. This time pulls up, stays perfect. 4 for 4, 11 for Connor here in the game.
I like how she kept the ball 1 second more just to see exactly what they were going to do, if they were going to drop and take Sedona or come up and guard her.
Diaz was forced to give it up. They'll set it back up front. Covello running the show. A lot more confident this year. Sophia Covello has been one of their very steady players here in the early going. Shot clock at 3. Covello has to give it up. With 1 on the shot clock, no. Offensive rebound. Nice job again by Spink.
You know that the shot clock going down, Spink is going to find her way to the basket to try to get another possession. Really good job there.
Our last 3 games, Casey Spink has averaged over 10.5 points and just almost 5 rebounds a game. Haley Van Lith, she's in double digits with 10.
Again, just a 3-layer score, being able to, you know, pull up jumper. She's hit a 3-pointer already. So again, you have to respect her at all levels.
Well, the problem that Haley Wright picked up her dribble. That ends up with Haley Van Lith with the easy layup. You can't pick up your dribble in this part of the court.
It's called the dead zone. It's called the dead zone because, you know, you've got your sideline as a defender as well.
Coach Finney at Houston Christian called it the idiot box.
that can be it too.
She says if my players go there, they're not smart. TCU has opened up a 16-point advantage, biggest of the game. Covello from the outside knocks down the 3.
TCU got lucky for her knocking it down because they had a wide open player under the basket that nobody was aware of.
Agnes Eminopu continues her streak of 3-pointers. That's a pretty feisty rebound by Covello. Averages just under 3 boards a ball game. This is where I think Idaho State's got to have that patience we talked about offensively.
Yeah, you know, they need to execute. I hear Coach Seaton just calling out the plays, but they have to execute and get the best shot.
And again, the shot clock goes inside of 9. And again, Casey Spink hits.
She's just having a great game for Idaho State.
Well, last year she led the team in rebounds, just under 7 a game. But only 1 double-digit game so far this season point-wise. That'll be a double dribble. That'll be the first turnover for TCU.
Gives TCU an opportunity to set up their press. Looks like they're going to go ahead and drop back into a 1-3-1.
I like the way they still extend, though, with Madison Connor, just to keep Idaho State a little honest. Spink has to give it up. Here's that patient offense we talked about. Watch the cutting for Idaho State. It's good. How about that? Rattle home for Covello.
Idaho State came to play today. You know, they are knocking down some big-time shots.
8-0 run for the Bengals. And then they do a nice job on Sedona Prince, but the foul's going to be called. Here's Sophia Covello.
Haley Van Lith was a little late on her closeout. Good job by Covello, just knocking down that wide open shot, getting her team some points on the board.
Well, Covello's got 6, coming off her lowest points of the season. In their last contest, only 2 points, was only 1 of 6 shooting. Big gives it up. Robertson, the pull-up jumper, a little long. 8-0 run. Idaho State has hit their last 4 shots as TCU's been in a 2-minute-plus scoring drought.
Again, what Coach Mark Campbell said, they're going to force you to do what you don't want to do.
Exactly.
You know, rush you and speed you up.
Idaho State, 4 of their 5 starters from last year's team back. Had that great game against BYU, losing 77-68. BYU had 8 points in the final 20 seconds to win that game. Boy, Haley Van Lith was being hounded on the play. Elder tried to grab her, and Haley made sure she didn't. And Kanisha Godfrey's going to check into the lineup for the first time for the Horned Frogs. Elder's going to go out. Piper Carlson comes back in, as does Diaz for Idaho State. Deasia Merrill for TCU, and Sedona Prince will go off. 9 points and a rebound for Sedona.
We have Deasia Merrill coming in, and we talked about this on the last broadcast about how different Deasia Merrill and Sedona Prince are. You know, Deasia is going to play bully ball. She has size, you know, and strength, whereas Sedona is a more of a finesse player, and so we'll see right now it's still going to be a mismatch in the paint for TCU.
Nice pass, Merrill from Connor, and she's going to be fouled. Priscilla Varela. Varela has checked into the lineup for Idaho State. And Allie Wright picks up her second personal foul. That'll send Merrill to the line. First free throws in a TCU uniform for the graduate student out of Villa Rica, Georgia.
Nothing but the net.
I like
Love
that.
that.
Especially you haven't shot free throws and all of a sudden you just step up and you nail one.
Yeah, but that's when your practice comes into play. You know, they shoot on these rims all the time and get a lot of free throws up. So at that point, hopefully it's just muscle memory.
Last year, Merrill was a 68% free throw shooter when she was at Georgia State. Ball is tipped. Bengals control it. Shot clock, plenty of time. Diaz sets it up again. Kanisha Godfrey on her. Kanisha goes over the screen, then under the screen. Diaz, no. Rebound Carlson. The sweeping right hand, no. Rebound Madison Connor. That's a luxury TCU has. Their guards are good rebounders. Madison buries the shot. She is 5 for 5 from the floor.
Like you said, getting a rebound, but able to then advance the ball. If you're Madison Connor, you just dribble into a shot and knock it down, no problem.
All right, Madison Connor with 14 in the ball game. 4 for 4 from beyond the arc for Mad. She's had 11 games of 5 or more three-pointers made. She's on the way to adding another one. Madison Connor gives TCU the lead, 38-26, 4:02 left in the half. Welcome back inside of Schollmeyer Arena, along with Jada Curtis. I'm Ron Thune. Horned Frogs lead by a dozen. They've led by as many as 16 in the game, mainly because they share the basketball. Madison Connor and company really are unselfish players.
Yeah, you see right here, 23.8 for assists per game. These are the top 5 in Division I right now. And when we talked to Coach Campbell before the game, he said sometimes, you know, we overpass.
Right.
We give up a really good shot for a great shot. So it's not that you could be mad at if they want to, you know, share the ball.
Idaho State shooting the ball extremely well in this ball game. They're shooting 55%. They've shot over 35% in only 2 of their 5 games this season. Van Lith pushes. When she dribbles the basketball, her eyes are scanning the court. That is fun to watch. You young point guards should watch her.
And especially when you have, teammates like TCU that's getting up and down the floor.
Haley on the drive, counted, and she'll go to the line.
Haley attacks so deep. We're going to take a look at it. We'll see right here, the jab step left, and then she attacks so deep. She's got 3 defenders on her. Deasia Merrill open on the backside if necessary, but she takes it herself for a traditional 3-point play. Just an elite guard. Absolutely.
Varela picks up the foul. TCU already with 2 players in double figures. Van Lith now with 15. They're on a 7-0 scoring run the last minute and a half. And here's the press again. This wears you down because you don't have the bodies that TCU has.
Exactly. And like we talked about it before, then it speeds up your set offense once you get into the half court because you don't have as much time.
Idaho State's done an outstanding job with it, though. Here's Cavello out front. Shot clock at 7. Spink lost it.
And then we see right now Sedona Prince at 6'7" initiating the offense.
What a luxury is that? That's going to be an offensive foul called on Donovan Hunter. Diaz will come back in.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
she definitely did. She extended that right arm for sure.
Spink is the heart of this Idaho State team, and she is very gunny on defense. Watching tape of her, it's been impressive. The double comes. Carlson was able to pass out of it. 2:35 to play in the half. They go high with Spink. Little strong. Wow. Wright goes down hard. Ball will belong to Idaho State.
Up quickly, hoping she's okay.
Yeah.
Looks like she's all right.
Probably knocked the wind out of her. Here it is again. Ooh, the way that leg bent.
Checking and making sure that she's going to be able to continue.
Bill Lawrence, one of the great officials. He gets it. He's concerned about the players.
For sure.
Known Bill a long time, and he's a special person. Disagree with some of his calls, but that doesn't mean he's not a special person. Cavello out front, works off the pick. Deep in the corner, Spink lets it fly. Air ball into the hands of Prince, lost it. Bigby's got it. Bigby, Haley Van Lith. Ooh, I thought she was going to step back. That'll be a travel. So after no turnovers in that opening quarter, TCU has turned it over 3 times here in the second.
And
Jordan back in for Idaho State.
In the post-game conference, after the last game, a lot of them talk about we got little things to clean up, and so those are the little things. You do a really good job in the first quarter of not having any turnovers, and then it's just little miscues that you have right here. It's not game-changing, but those are things that you just want to go without.
And again, the Bulldogs pretty good, or the Bengals pretty good breaking the press. Spink. Diaz dumps it down low. Beautiful pass inside, and that's going to be a rejection by Agnes Eminopu. A lot of body contact, though.
Yeah, I thought they got her on that backdoor cut again, but she was able to recover. They said no foul.
That is her second block of the season. I thought there was a lot of body contact on that.
Coach Seaton definitely agrees with you.
I think he does, too. Diaz with 2 on the shot clock, works on Van Lith, count it, and a foul. That was a big-time move.
For sure. With the shot clock winding down, it got down to .9. I hate Coach Seaton over here letting his players know exactly how much time they had to go to work. And Diaz, again, she is looking to score every time she has the ball.
She is so talented and has a feel for the game, Diaz, the senior out of Lisbon, Portugal. 2 of 5 games this season, she has been in double figures. Final 120 here in the half. Agnes Emanopu, no. Rebound pulled away by Diaz. She's having a whale of a first half. 8 points to go with a couple of rebounds and a couple of assists.
And I just appreciate her aggressiveness. You know, she's coming in and making things happen.
Spink, nice back door. Sedona goes no way. Her first block of the game and her 20th of the season.
The first 2 times that they got TCU on the backdoor cuts is because Sedona was more at the Big 12 side. But right there, you'll see she's under the basket and holding it down.
By the way, it's her 22nd block of the season. That'll be a 5-second call, and that'll be a turnover. That'll be the 8th turnover of the ball game for Idaho State. But the good news is that's only the 3rd here in the second quarter after 5 in the opening 10 minutes.
And doing a little bit better job of not turning the ball over, and that time luckily was a dead ball play and not letting TCU get out in transition.
Sedona offensive rebound, can't get it. She'll go to the line for free throws number 6 and 7. She's been to the line twice as much as Idaho State has been.
And Idaho State is, you know, throwing everything they can at her. And Sedona doing a good job of drawing those fouls and getting herself to the free throw line.
I think she knew that was off the second it left her hand. 79% on the season. Sedona comes in averaging 21 points, over 10 rebounds. Now with 22 blocks. Along with National Player of the Week, she's the reigning Big 12 Player of the Week, as Hallie Wright will come back in. And AB will go out for Idaho State. Coach Campbell saying stay in the press, stay in the press. Agnes Emanopu commits the foul.
But it was a push on Emanopu.
Idaho State only 1 for their last 9. They've trailed by as many as 16, but they have not gone away, to their credit.
Yeah, not at all. Last year, they only scored about 59.5 points per game. This year, they're trying to get some more production. They averaged 62 per game. But again, it's like last game, just trying to get it out the mud, get it however they can. And they've been doing a good job today.
Right on the drive with the left hand, no. Prince comes down with it. Gets it in the hands of Haley Van Lith. Final 15 seconds. Bigby goes to the right. Right block, Connor. Van Lith wastes no time. Can't get it. Rebound pulled away by Jordan. Into the hands of Diaz with 1. No! Bigby got a piece of it. So Idaho State, 2008. Looking for their 6-0 start for only the 3rd time in their 48-year history. But this Idaho State team, and you and I were talking during the break, they are not going away. They played a very good game. That's going to be an offensive foul on the pick. And that'll be on Piper Carlson. This is, we talked about this. This is a well-coached Idaho State team.
Yeah, you know, so they're coming out of halftime, was able to get a turnover, a moving screen there on TCU. And so as long as they execute, they're going to have a chance in this game.
Well, Coach Sobolewski, 3-time Big Sky Coach of the Year, 4 20-win seasons, winning as coach in school history. 2 NCAA tournaments. Passes are always crisp. Here is Spink. Spink with 4 points and 4 rebounds in that opening 20 minutes. Shot clock at 7. Diaz, who got the start this afternoon. The sweeping right-hander, no. Sedona got the rebound. Her 5th board. Bigby saw the double That's going to be an offensive foul on Taylor Bigby.
And Bigby's had a couple of those when she's looking to distribute, getting offensive fouls. And so she's got to adjust to that call. We'll see right here attacking the baseline. See her eyes are up looking for her teammate, but she's got to notice Spink right in front of her and just be under more control when making those passes.
How about that job, though, by Casey Spink? I mean, she is going to sacrifice that 5'9" body to get in front of the 6'1" Bigby.
Like we talked about, she's hard-nosed. She's going to do whatever she needs to for her team to be successful.
Right on the drive off the glass, got it. Lead cut down to 11.
It's a really good, just tough drive there by Wright, finishing through contact.
They're trying to push Sedona off the mark. Piper Carlson doing a nice job, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called. It's such a dilemma. You try to play behind her, but Sedona is so big, she can just back you down.
Exactly, and they've been trying to send another person from the backside, but they're waiting a couple of seconds before sending them rather than going to automatically a double.
Van Lith sees the double. That's going to be knocked out by Carlson with 11 to shoot.
And by waiting on sending the double, they're not thinking that it's coming. They're thinking that they're good rather than it coming quickly, right. And so that's how they're getting their hands on balls.
Van Lith backs it out. They get it to Sedona with 5. There's the double again, and they force the turnover. That is great timing you were just talking about.
Yeah, and I wish Sedona would just keep it above her head. Nobody can touch it if it's above her head, and being able to distribute from that high post.
Well, if I had a step ladder, I could, but...
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's an unforced turnover, and that's tough for Idaho State because they beat Westminster for their second win of the season. They had a season-low 5 turnovers in that game. They've doubled that up already here in the third quarter. Van Lith. Nice job, Wright, making sure Sedona Prince doesn't get it. Lead stays at 11.
Coach was yelling at Hallie Wright to just grab that because when you don't, now you let TCU set up in that press and again wind down that clock. 5 seconds to get it across.
Couple of days, this Idaho State team will leave the Dallas-Fort Worth area, go down to Cancun for a tournament. And of course TCU, they will head to the Cayman Islands coming up in a couple of days for a tournament. I will be at home with my grandkids.
Enjoying some time.
Yes. Van Lith, Agnes Eminopu will come into the lineup for the Horned Frogs. Bigby. Wright stays with her. She backs up. 17. Got it. Bigby's first points of the ball game.
And I think that's a confidence booster for her because she's been looking to just distribute. But, she can score. She's been lighting it up here recently. So getting that is really good for her.
And the turnover, and they make them pay. Haley Van Lith with the basket. And a timeout's going to be called as the lead goes to 15. Haley's got 15 in the ball game to go along with 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. TCU by 15. Notre Dame currently number 6 in the country in South Florida, then Florida Atlantic, and then South Carolina, who was upset today by UCLA. That'll be at Dickey's. That'll be on December 8th.
Really hard competition. Notre Dame had a game yesterday against USC and took them down quite handily. And so, man, these little things that TCU's got to, fix, they got to fix them quick.
And going to those tournaments is tough. You're in this beautiful surrounding, and concentration may not be the way it is in Fort Worth. Diaz can't get the bounce. Rebound pulled away by Agnes.
But I think that's what, separates elite teams.
Exactly.
You don't let the environment really deter how you're going to come out and perform.
I remember Gino Ariema telling me years ago, when he goes to these tournaments, he tells his team is Agnes Eminopu with the 3. That's her 4th of the year. He says, I tell him, you can't get involved in the distractions.
Exactly.
You're still there to do a job. This is a tough position now for Idaho State. The lead is up to 18. That's the biggest of the ball game. Is TCU on a 7-0 run. This is where TCU could really blow this thing open. They need a basket. They haven't scored in over 2:45. And there is Spink again. Possession will belong to the Horned Frogs. Agnes Eminopu, we know she can hit the three.
Because they're doubling Sedona, they dropped down as soon as they passed the ball to her. And so that quick kick back to Eminopu left her wide open.
And she will take that shot. Here is Bigby for three. She buries it. It's a 10-0 run as TCU has hit their last 4 field goal attempts.
Again, when she's looking to score, that's when she's really an elite guard.
Idaho State has scored only 2 points here in the third quarter. TCU has scored 10. And a timeout's going to be called with 5:08 to play here in quarter number 3. This is what we thought could happen. TCU has the ability, and we mentioned it in our open, explosive offense.
Exactly, and they had a slow start this game. They had a slow start last game, and that's something that, you know, Coach Mark Campbell hit on in his last pregame, but they came in locked in defensively in the second half last game. We're seeing that again today. They're coming in locked in defensively in this half as well, and you're seeing that they're just extending that lead.
Now they've got 18 points off turnovers in this ball game already. 3 games this season, they have had plus 28 points off turnovers, which tells you they press you and they keep coming at you. 5:08 to play here in quarter number 3. TCU's expanded their lead to 21. So far this season, TCU has beaten 4 opponents by 30-plus times in a month for the first time in the history of TCU. Will they add another? They're on a 10-0 run. They've held Idaho State to just 1 of 5 shooting here in quarter number 3. Along with Jada Curtis, I'm Ron Thulin. Talked a couple minutes ago how this was a dangerous time for the Bengals.
Yeah, Idaho State, it was only a 2-point differential in the second quarter. Right now, it's 8. And so they're getting outplayed in the beginning of this second half.
Jordan took her eye off the ball, now works on Prince. still able to get the shot up. 3 white jerseys around, and Agnes Eminopu pulls away the rebound. That is her second of the ball game. Sedona way up front. She can initiate the offense from there. Sets the pick. The southpaw Van Lith, no. Hunter will come back into the lineup for TCU. That's going to be an offensive foul. The movie screen by Carlson.
I think that's about the third offensive foul that they've called on screens.
I think you're right. Carlson
right
picks
here.
up her third. I don't know.
Yeah, you've got it. Your point guard has to wait until your big is set. Then you have to rub hips with them to make sure that their player goes into the screen rather than trying to go early.
They didn't come with the double, and Sedona Prince takes advantage of it for her 12th point of the ball game. "27 straight games for Sedona Prince, double figures." Nice job defensively. Van Lith is going to be tripped up.
Van Lith does a really good job of drawing fouls as soon as she gets the turnover. She's able to just crafty and just weave herself around through the defense. You'll see right there Sedona getting her hand out the ball, knocking that out, and just able to get right into Wright's hip and draw a foul on her.
Now Spink comes back in the lineup for Idaho State. TCU on a 12-0 run. They've hit 5 of their last 6 shots, and they've held Idaho State scoreless, closing in on 5 minutes here in the third. Van Lith got away with a little chicken wing. Eminopu up and under, right hand, can't get it. Nice job, Wright pulling down the rebound.
It was a good move by Agnes. I need her to finish those little bunnies. She gets to exactly where she needs to be and kind of short arms them a lot of the time. She's so strong, and so I just want her to go up strong and even hit it off the backboard if needed.
Sedona thought she had the rejection on Carlson. Instead, it's going to be a foul called. Robertson back in for the Horned Frogs. Wow.
I'm not sure unless it was right before the ball actually went up.
It must have been. And here is Piper Carlson. Had a career-high 16 versus San Diego State this season. 3 of the 5 games this season, she has been in double figures. Carlson has 1 assist tonight. What's big about that, that tied her season high for all of last year in assists with 6. She's one of those players you watch on tape. She's off to a great start this year, Piper Carlson.
Yeah, they said she's a gym rat, you know, and so when you put in the work, it shows.
Spink the rebound. That's number 4 for her. Lead is 22. 23 has been the biggest. Jovanovic will come back into the lineup, and Bigby for TCU. Jordan, nice defense. Haley Van Lith. Van Lith this time dives and gets the rebound.
Good defense, knowing personnel there for TCU.
Madison Connor, her first miss from the floor today. But they still get the 3.
She missed the first one, but again, she's got a teammate that wears number 10 that'll knock it down for her. Really good job by Haley Van Lith getting that offensive rebound and being able to knock down the 3.
Now she's got 12 in the ball game. The run goes to 15-1. Robertson had her back turned, and that allows Wright to get the easy 2.
And Wright is just staying steady. She's going down there, working hard, and was rewarded.
9 points for Wright in the ball game. We're inside of 2 minutes. Both teams making substitutions. Diaz will come back into the lineup.
And our 4th foul on a screen.
That is Sedona Prince's. The foul is on her. And she's going to get a little bit of a breather with 1:48 to play here in quarter number 3. Wright does it all. She can bring the ball up.
You're just trying to get set into their offense. They've done a good job of executing their offense and getting some good shots, just not knocking them down.
Wright with 7 to shoot. Spink. Van Lith on her. 2 dribbles. Gets the driver. Count it. They're going to replay it next break of the action, but it looked good to us.
It looked good, yeah. She got it up right as it went off the shot clock.
So Carlson's got 3 points in the ball game with 60 seconds left in the third. Van Lith again buries the 2.
She's showing you how she's a 3-layer scorer, you know, being able to knock down the threes and then pull up jumpers off the bounce. Just an elite scorer.
Van Lith's got 22 in the ball game. Right back is Wright.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, you like that? Haley Van Lith, by the way, her second 20-point game in a TCU uniform. Her season high, by the way, is 21, so she's got a new season high with 22 today. Career high, by the way, is still way out there with 34. That was versus Clemson back in 2022, and Haley Van Lith will go out. Davey comes back in. Spink goes out. Madison Connor, 5 for 7 shooting. She's got 14 in the ball game. Robertson, nice ball movement. Madison Connor lets it fly, buries the 3.
Right in front of her bench, all her teammates stood up before the ball even went through the net.
5 3-pointers made by Madison Connor. 12 games, 5 or more 3-pointers made for Madison Connor.
You can finish them off and continue to give effort for the full 40 minutes. It's going to make you a competitive team.
3 quarters and 3 times field goals made by Idaho State have gone down. 7 made in the first, 5 in the second, 4 in the third. And we begin the final play. Idaho State's going to stay in Dallas for a couple of days before heading to their tournament in Cancun. And the foul is going to be on Madison Connor. That'll be 4th on her. She's going to go out.
She's just opening up her hip when she's having to defend a driver. She's gotten, I think, 2 fouls in that same scenario. So she just got to do a better job of the one-on-one defense, especially in the shoot.
Tasia Jordan went down with a knee injury last season. So explosive. Not a great outside shooter, but a pretty good slasher. They brought her back slowly this season. Still was having a little problem with a quad, and again, everybody looks forward to their conference season. You don't want to have anybody hurt. Lokitsa is not playing tonight for Idaho State. How about that for Hunter? Hunter's got 4.
So it looks like it was out on Idaho State on the sideline. Bigby right there.
Novella comes back into the lineup. Haley Van Lith will trigger it in. There's Donovan Hunter, the transfer from Oregon State out of Medford, Oregon. Member of the Pac-12 all-freshman team last season. Van Lith. We had the perfect angle for that shot. It doesn't, there's like 4 E's in sweet when she shoots that.
She was able to just kind of hide behind the screen. The defense went under the screen, which is mistake number 1, and allowing her to hit that pull-up jumper.
Haley's got a season high 24 points on 9 of 14 shooting. Jordan, tough shot, no. Nice job, Spink taking it away.
Bigby had it in her hand, but again, Spink's just not going to let it go.
Right. Sedona Prince snatches the rebound. That's her 6th board of the ball game to go along with her 12 points. Tanisha Godfrey, 4-3, buries it. KG needed that. That's her first field goal made this season.
And it was out of their offense, you know, out of the pick and roll. The help side, the backside help is going to help on Sedona Prince, and so it's going to leave that three-point shooter wide open, able to knock it down.
That's her first point since a free throw made in game number 1. KG didn't play last year because of an injury. Spink, that'll be wide to the left. KG's got the rebound. Quickly up ahead to Haley. With Sedona just established position. Now she pops out. Sedona. Nice job defensively by Carlson. Sedona baseline jumper, can't get it. Rebound, Tanisha Godfrey. Haley Van Lith, no. Sedona hard, kicks it back out. The shot and the three by Haley Van Lith.
She had to knock that one down.
She owes Sedona Prince a lunch. What a job by Sedona and the hustle.
Just big smiles on their face, able to capitalize off the 2 offensive rebounds. Just
TCU on another big run. It's a 10-0 run over the last 2:16, and the lead is big. Mark looks concerned. Okay, I'm over.
He's always like in a hole.
Welcome back along with Jada Curtis. I'm Ron Thulin. The lead is 72-39. TCU on a 10-0 run. Idaho State only 1 point scored here in the 4th and final stanza here in Fort Worth, Texas. And the game summary, you can see Haley Van Lith 7 points away from a new career high.
Almost another turnover for Idaho State. They have 14 already, which is at their season average.
Nice move, right, can't finish.
None other than Spink down there working hard.
And again, We talked about Haley Van Lith doing everything offensively and defensively. That is her 5th rebound of the ball game. We got a foul down low. That'll be on Piper Carlson. Agnes Eminopu back into the lineup. And Donovan Hunter will come out. You know, people always talk about Haley's offense, but I've been impressed with her defense this year.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the effort that she's giving on the defensive end.
Spink comes out to meet her. They play Sedona straight up. Carlson can't stop her.
She's kind of perfected that turnaround jumper, and especially once it gets going, it doesn't stop.
Prince with 14 and 7, 3 away from a double-double. Sedona Prince, the only player averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Got her 1,000th point this year. Trying to get her 4th double-double of 2025. 6:21 to play. In case you just joined us, TCU was only up by 13 at halftime, 42-29. And that's going to be a foul on Covello. That'll be her first personal foul.
And because Haley plays just really low in that level, she's able to get into her defender's hip and draw fouls.
Yeah, tried to get a little cute with it. TCU only their 7th turnover of the ball game. Wright thought about it till she saw Prince move out.
And TCU is able to double because they don't have, not double, excuse me, they're able to switch on everything because Idaho State doesn't have a true center. But Wright just really battling in the paint. See, Haley got her hand on the ball, but still able to grab it and finish through contact.
That stops a 12-0 run by TCU. That was a pretty move by Allie Wright. She's got 11 in the ball game to go along with 4 boards. She's raised her points per game every year. And you look at the kind of athlete she was. She was an outstanding track and field participant in high school. She was a high jumper, was all-state. Love reading the backstories of these players.
Just dynamic athletes all around.
And you look at Idaho State, a lot of mechanical engineering majors, a lot of 3.9 and better averages. Okay, I'm jealous, I'll admit.
Definitely the definition of student athlete.
Yeah, great students at the school, which that you have to point to the head coach on that. Recruits those type of athletes. 12-2 run for TCU over the last 4 minutes. Right outside, no. Loose ball. Una Jovanovic with it. Great basketball IQ. Mark Campbell said her vision is elite. And the throwaway right into the hands of Tasia Jordan.
I don't know if you saw how high she jumped up to grab that ball.
Yeah.
She has a really, really high vertical for her size.
They were telling us before the game she could touch the rim and dunk a tennis ball. Ah, Sedona, get that egg out of my basket. Her 2nd block of the ball game. 23 on the year.
And when you're that size, you know, even if you get beat on the first step, you're able to use your length to recover.
Haley Van Lith in the lineup. Kanisha Godfrey gave TCU good minutes. She'll get a little bit of a breather. I think Kanisha's finding out what her role is on this team.
And I definitely think it's the junk type player, you know, go and get the tough baskets, the offensive rebounds, you know, hands-on balls.
I know how hard KG has worked in the offseason. She was actually our stage manager in WNBA games this year. Spent a lot of time getting ready for this season. Here is Sedona inside, count the basket and a foul.
And we're looking at Coach Seaton, he kind of just shrugs his shoulders because there's nothing really that you can do with that. TCU was continuing to attack but they're always looking for Sedona on the roll.
And Sedona now with 16-7. Mom played basketball. Her dad also played basketball. She knows the importance of this season. A recent poll had her in the top 10 WNBA draft picks coming up at the end of the season.
You know that she has to really show off her versatility, being able to consistently knock down those mid-range jumpers, but also with her back to the basket.
This time she puts the hand up defensively. Agnes Eminopu the rebound, because in the W, there really aren't the true fives anymore. I mean, you have Tierra McCowan and Kalani Brown in the wings, and Sedona with the drive. TCU's hit their last 4.
The true, 5-player center is kind of just evolving itself out of the women's basketball game, because you're seeing players have the versatility, being able to, start the break and hit those threes no matter what their size is.
Whistle down below with 3:28 to play. Natalie Mazurek will check into the lineup. The redshirt senior out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, played at South Dakota before this, and that's going to be it for Sedona Prince. 19 points, 7 rebounds, but what is impressive that kind of was quietly going on, she had 4 assists in the ball game.
She is really good and has good vision, especially at that high post, because people really have to get out and guard her. She can distribute.
That's a season high in assists for Sedona Prince. Diaz had a good first half, been quiet in the second. Loose ball foul, that'll go against Idaho State.
They got Spink with her 4th foul on pursuing that offensive rebound.
After 16 points in the opening quarter, Idaho State has only scored 14 here in the second half. Closing in on 3 to play. Anisha Godfrey will come back into the lineup for TCU. Madison Connor looks, pumps, can't get it. Into the hands of Diaz. A nice job defensively again, Haley. Ella Hamlin's going to come into the lineup for TCU. Had her first career basket in the opening game of this season against Houston Christian, and Madison Connor with 17 points, 5 of 7 from 3. She'll go out. Haley Van Lith will also go out of the ball game.
They've been very productive, in these opening games for TCU.
Next stop for those two, the Cayman Islands. Nice cut by Wright, and she finishes with the left hand for her 15th point.
Idaho State is going to hit you with a backdoor cut and finish those. I love a backdoor cut. Get your defender not paying attention.
Una out front. Una on the drive, the scoop, can't get it. Agnes kicks it back out. Still time on the shot clock at 10. Eminopu. Jovanovic thought about it, let it fly, buries the 3. That is her first 3-pointer made this season.
I love when she does well. She works hard, she puts her head down, and just does a really good job for TCU, and so I love to see her rewarded.
She has a 12-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio so far this year.
And that's outstanding.
That is unbelievable. Had 100 assists last year, second most in TCU history. Agnes on the drive, has it rejected. Nice job by Wright. That's her second block. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. And Deja Turner will check into the lineup. Redshirt junior out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Injured most of last year. Agnes Emanopu will take a seat with 3 points in the ball game and 5 rebounds. Spink also goes out for Idaho State. At the line, Maria Diaz. Remember the Big Sky all-academic team? Got her first start of the year tonight. 12 starts last year. Such a big asset on offense for this team.
Yeah, she led the team last year in scoring and field goal percentage, so we know she knows how to get it done.
Una goes, hey, somebody got to come out here and help me. Final minute of play. Jovanovic, the scoop, and the score.
Coach talked about her elevated role really increasing her confidence coming into this year. You know, she doesn't really second guess anything. She's decisive like we saw on that last possession.
We know she can score. We saw her light up Oklahoma State for 22 points in the Big 12 tournament. Tough turnaround. Una plays good defense. Kanisha Godfrey pulls down the rebound inside of 35 seconds. TCU again will take tomorrow off, get back to practice. Una can't get it. And then leave to take on Notre Dame on the 29th. Here is KG, the step through, and the foul's going to be called.
Turning that defense into the offense, getting herself to the free throw line, just attacking the defense at their hip.
Kanisha Godfrey started out with Vic Schaefer at Mississippi State. Out of Tampa, Florida, has already graduated. Every time she does something nice, I know her parents quite well. I could just see her mom and dad in Tampa just going crazy.
And I think she's done a really good job of trying to soak up and learn. You know, when you have guards like Haley Van Lith and you have Madison Connor that you battle with every single day, it just does nothing but help elevate your game as well.
I think it helped, too. She was our stage manager and the analyst with me, and the W was somebody named Nancy Lieberman. They had a lot of conversations. You can't learn from anybody better than the GOAT. Inside, nice defense. Turner with 3.8 to play. So TCU will put 3 players in double figures. Haley Van Lith with 27, Sedona with 19, Madison Connor with 17. And that's going to do it. So TCU goes to 6-0 on the season as they head to the Thanksgiving break.